What's up, guys? Knaftastic here, Rodney, you know me, and I can never get my camera right. Alright, start things out with, I'm trying to get myself in a good mood because, you know, life has a way of bringing you down. Start this video out. I will be giving this knife away to someone that comments in this video. Get that right at the beginning. It is a knife that was donated to me from Warspear. I did a custom blade etch and stonewash on it, and I did a heat anno, which did like a copper, sort of a bronzish, goldish color on the screws and hardware, and I did an acid etch on the liners. It does have some stick, a little bit of lock stick. It's not horrible. Lockup is good. It does have quite a bit of lockup, but it was like that when I got it. Overall, it's a good knife. My card is nice and clean. It's brand new, never carried, except when I carried it into work to do the mods. It was given to me from Warspear to take a look at and do a quick review on. I will be doing a finalized review on this before I send it out. For right now, this is US only unless international wants to pay for the additional shipping cost. It will be shipped out flat rate priority, and I'll run this for a week or so. Okay, the topic of this video, besides the giveaway we just talked about, is some of my favorite Twosuns. And there's no particular order here. It's just sort of random show and tell. This is a few of my favorites. I have about 100 or so Twosuns now. I've sold quite a few. I'm still selling more. I got a whole box with 30 or 40 in it that I'm selling. But these are some that I'm keeping that I will not be getting rid of. Well, as of now, I'm not getting rid of them. I could in the future. Nobody knows the future except the Lord Jesus Christ. And if you don't like hearing that, cut it off right now, because I'm going to talk about Jesus when I want to. Just being real. I like Twosun because they are not afraid to try something new. They got a lot of weird designs and a lot of designs that are funky, and either they speak to you or they don't. You know, they speak to your soul or they don't. You know, it's a combination of materials, designer ingenuity, the thought process that goes into the knife. It's all those things that make a difference to me, and I've sort of interacted with a few of these designers of these knives, and you know, these guys think outside the box and they see things differently than a lot of people do, and I really like a lot of their designs, and some of them I'm not all that great on, but I still respect that. I still respect them for coming up with something outside of the norm, which a lot of these knives here are sort of out of the norm. Anyway, let's start out with, and I'm going to try to remember the numbers of these, and if I have to look over here to a little cheat sheet I got, I'll try to get the number right. I think I know for the most part what these are. I'll sort of go from oldest to newest. When I say oldest to newest, some of the ones I've gotten earlier, and then as I've come along, I've got them later. With that being said, the first knife that I will take a look at is the Twosun TS198. Now this is in a black wash, and I really love this knife. This blade is in D2, and it's got a scissor-like open. I don't know if you can hear that. It's just so nice. D10 is good on this. It's got a hardened lock bar insert. Lockup is about on 30-some%. Blade centering, it's nice and drop smooth. Blade centering is right down the center. I really like a black wash titanium. I really like the aesthetics, the cutouts in this. This is one that is pretty hard to find right now. I believe you probably could find it maybe on the secondary somewhere if someone decides to sell it. I really like the shape of this blade and the forward grip in my hand. Even though the frame is sort of blocky, it feels really good. And you can, I'm not the best Spidey flicker, and actually the detent's a little too hard. This is not the one I was thinking of. You can't, I can't Spidey flick this one, or reverse flick it, whatever you want to call it, because the detent is sort of tight. But I'm sure someone out there could. That's the Twosun TS64. I have 3 TS69s. Now, I've got one that I put this little bomber bead on. This is one of the ones here soon I will be doing a scale swap on. I'm thinking I'm going to get some fat carbon or some crazy fiber or something and change the scales on this. It would be pretty easy to do. At the same time, I'm going to thin this up a little bit because it is a thick boy. Not sure how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take away some of these squared off corners, just a tad here and there, and make it more pocketable. One of the things that drew me to this knife when I first got it was it did not have a clip. I could just throw it in the back pocket, and that's why I have a lanyard on this one, because I like to carry it, just throw it in the pocket and the lanyard hanging out, and I pull it when I need it. D10 is great on this. Now, I have 3 of these, and all 3 are different. You have sort of this modified Tonto blade on this one. You got some compound grinds going on and polished liners. On the other 69 I have, scales are the same, but you can see that the liners are a satin. They're not polished. And this is just basically a drop point. Again, the liner is not polished. And then I have the titanium version, which the lanyard option is still the same, but we have this sculpted, multi-micro milled, contoured, faceted titanium frame lock with the same style drop point blade. And these knives do get carried. So I have some Twosuns that I have not carried, and then some that I do like that I end up carrying. Really like the look of this one. I like the multi-faceting on the pocket clip. Even though this pocket clip pretty much sucks, it doesn't work good in out of pocket. It's a fail. But the knife itself is pretty cool. I like it. This is the Twosun TS69. And another knife that is pretty neat, and I've seen a couple of these pop up here and there. This is the Twosun TS74. Now this has a couple of different methods of deployment. It is a front flipper, it is a back flipper, and it is a, I reckon you would call it a reverse flick or Spidey flick with that hole there in the tip. So depending on how you hold it, you can open it like that. I don't know if I got that on camera or not. You can open it flicking it that way, and it has a very odd, so almost hawkbillish blade. This is a really good slicer box opener, and it has the satin finished liners, and it is drop shut. Centering is great. You have the front flipper, and then you have the back flipper, and it just feels really odd in the hand. This is another good candidate for doing a custom scale mod on, which is something I might do in the future, but for now the black G10 suffices. And that is the Twosun TS74. The Twosun TS198. Now they make a couple variants of this. I believe they make a micarta one. I have a green or JG10 one that is actually going to be going for, or is for sale, and might be getting put on eBay or here on YouTube or something that I'm selling. But this one is not. This is the titanium, and detent is a little weak on this one. The action is just perfect. As long as you mean to open it, it's great. Action is just buttery drop smooth. I like the look of this one. It's got somewhat of a finger twirl if you have very small fingers. I just can get the corner of my finger in there, but not really. You can see my finger really far from fitting in there. You can grab it, but as long as you pull back with rear pressure, you ain't got to worry about rubbing up on that and cutting your finger. I'm not sure if this one can be, yeah, it can be reverse flick, no problem. I've always liked the cutouts and the geometrical shapes that they've done in this, and sort of, you know, going from the frame to the knife to the blade. You can see I've carried this one, and it probably could deal with a sharpening. I've done quite a bit of cutting with this one, with boxes and stuff. I've had this one for quite a while. This is one of the features I like about Twosuns, is they offer a lot of their knives with the hidden screw. I think that's a nice aesthetic. I do wish, you know, for lefties that they would offer a secondary mounting option. A lot of their knives would probably sell better, but you know, I don't know if that's Twosun or if that's designer or the combination of both. With all the funky stuff they do, I don't think it would be much of an issue for them to make knives lefty friendly, but you know, doesn't bother me a whole lot because I'm a righty, but I don't want to be selfish, and I know lefties love knives too. But this is the Twosun TS198, and it's a keeper. Actually, this lanyard was on this knife when I bought it. I got this on the secondary off of eBay. The next one in line, I think this is definitely in my top 5 Twosuns, and has been, and probably always will be. This is the 54. I love the pocketed milling on this thing, the large stylized pivots, the minimalistic flipper tab, the sort of non-functioning jimping on the blade unless you want to use that as a slow roll to roll it out. A lot of long, nice belly on this. Action is just hydraulic shut. It is just buttery. It's not a drop, it's hydraulic. Now this knife here does have somewhat of a weak detent on it also. You have to make sure that when you open it, you are meaning to open it. And I'm sure that could be adjusted out some. But I love this knife. It has a very minimalistic lanyard option that you can see there. It also has sort of the same clip that the 69 does. Somewhat similar, except this one only has one center cut out, but it's also a hidden screw. And I'm getting ready to offer services. If anyone's interested and you watch this video and I'm still alive and kicking, if you have a Twosun or you want to get a Twosun and you want to convert your knife for left-handed carry and you want a pocket cut in the micarta or titanium or G10 or whatever it is, I can do that. I can create that pocket for that clip or make new holes, whatever the case, whatever needs to be done, I can do that. So hit me up by my email or leave a comment in the comment section and we can get that taken care of for you. I'm not going to do it to mine because I'm right-handed and there's no reason to do it. That is the Twosun TS198. 54. Okay, we've done the 64, the 54, the 48, the 69, and the 74. TS76. I've also had a couple of these. I've got a couple in trade at one time. I've sold a couple, and I've seen some on eBay to where they had a different style, a spring style clip. This here is the titanium clip hidden screw option with the lanyard option, much like the TS69s have, which is hidden in the tail. It has this multi-jimping, very minimalistic flipper tab, which the detent on this one is perfect. It's running on internal stop pins. This detent is great for flipper. It is, you can't fail it. I can't fail it. Some Twosuns are just great, and then some are hit or miss. This one here is one that's great. I've had another one just like this that the detent was not as good on. So it's a knife thing, it's a tuning thing. You know, it's when they were assembling it that day. There's all kinds of factors that come into play. I love the blade shape on this one. And this is in D2. This is a night morning. I haven't been telling you the makers of these. So far, every one I have showed, I believe, has been a night morning. The 64, yep, that's night morning. The 54, night morning. Night morning for the 48. And the 69s, I believe, are night morning too. Yeah, so every one of these has been night morning, along with the 76 is a night morning. And most of these have been D2 that I've been showing you. Okay, now, I know this video is going to take up a little bit of time. We're already at 16 minutes. I don't want to waste up too much of your time. And I'll get to the instructions for the giveaway before I end the video. Okay, this is the TS27, I believe. Yeah, TS27. Now this one is also available in multi configurations, G10, micarta, and titanium. This is the rarer bird in the titanium. This is also a night morning design. Nice long belly. I really like this sort of upward sweeping thumb ramp. Feels really comfortable in hand. You can see there, I use these knives and don't put them up like I should and clean them up. But this is a nice aesthetic, pleasing knife in hand. The action, once you get it past that detent ramp, it's nice and smooth. Detent a little weak on this one, and it's got that ramp, and it's one of those ones that maybe could be, maybe not needed. Once you get past it, it closes okay. This is the TS27. Really like the look of that one, the fit of that one, the multi-grounds on the blades. Okay. Now to some newer ones. And I've had most of these for a while now. I only have two new ones that I haven't had long, and that's the, I still don't know the name of this one. This is the TS318. I have to look that up. This is a liner lock, and this is also, nope, this is Wongan Inn and 14C28N. I don't have many Wongs here, but I do. It's good to be Wong. Because I'm probably wrong on this number. But I like the honeycomb and the purple. And this is a titanium liner lock. This is a great little knife. It's not little, it's a thick boy. It's a thick one. Action is nice on it. I like the thumb studs. It's a good thumb stud knife. Twosun 223. This was one of the knives that threw me over the edge of really appreciating Twosuns. This is a Jelly Jerry. Full slicey blade. And this is 14C28N. You can see Jelly Jerry's maker moniker on there. I reckon you would call this sort of a bolster frame lock. It's really not a bolster, but it looks like a bolster. It has these carbon fiber overlays. Really like the feel of this in hand. It's sort of blocky, sort of squared, but can't go wrong with the 223. The one of my favorites. This is in my pocket every day, guys, since I've gotten it. I got this one from White Mountain Knives. And I'll say also, if you are interested in any Twosuns that are currently available, White Mountain, Justin at White Mountain has a lot of Twosuns, and he gets new stock regularly. Feel free to go to his site, and if you want to use my code, or almost any other YouTuber has their code to use, doesn't matter to me. Just so the end user gets 10% off, that's what matters. If you want to use my code, it's NAFTY, K-N-A-F-T-Y, and you get 10% off. And he offers free shipping and no tax. And unless you're willing to bid and wait 2 to 3 weeks to 2 to 3 months to get it from China, it all depends. If it goes through Chicago, you're going to be waiting months, because it is what it is. I got this one from White Mountain. I've gotten a few of these from White Mountain, but most of them I've gotten off eBay because I've had them for a while. And he's only in the past year as he started carrying a lot of Twosuns. I got a nice snail trail on there from pulling it in and out of pocket. I don't need to rub that out, do some hand rubbing on it. But this knife is so good. It's so good. I love this. It is a great knife. Now, one thing I will say about a sheep's foot or a Wharncliffe style blade is the tip works really great for cutting and opening packages, but you have no belly, so all you can do is use the tip. I mean, you can, granted, you can do chop, 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 but the tip, it's sort of, you got to give and take with something like something like this. You got a tip that's a lot farther away, but you got this entire edge to cut with, where you start cutting here and you can sweep around and cut back. Okay, I had some kind of file thing going on, so gonna have to edit this into the other video. Try to remember where I was at. I think I was talking about the 318, and it's a great knife. You can reverse flick this. This is a thumb stud only, but you can reverse flick it. You can forward flick it. The action on it is nice. It's a small knife. The clip works fairly good. The way I carry this knife is I wear it through my belt loop, and basically this goes between my belt and my pants. So basically this is sliding over my belt, and seems to work really good. And basically this bead and lanyard hangs out the front side of my belt like so, and my belt runs through here, and that way it doesn't take up any pocket space. And I love this. This is the 318. Just a great knife. This is probably one of my favorite current Twosuns right now. It would take a lot to get this out of my pocket. This one is in my pocket every day. Every day. And this is a night morning design in 14C28N. I love the fact that I can grip here, and it has a slightward upward thumb ramp that I can grab that way, or I can rest my thumb in there and really do some pushing. It's just a great feeling knife. I do wish there was a little bit of more space behind the clip, but beggars can't be choosy. Great thought out design. I like the multifaceted relief instead of the whole space being relieved. I like how it has the multifacets there. That would be nice, or that is nice. It would be even nice too if the relief was done on the inside, which some knives they do that way. That's the Twosun TS318. Currently my number one. Okay, and I was talking about this one earlier, and while I was figuring out what happened in the video cut off, this is the 316. This is the Wongan Inn 316 titanium liner lock with the honeycomb sort of pattern going on the purple, light purple liner scales. This would be a good knife candidate to change scales on to different kinds of titanium or micarta or carbon fiber. This knife is really friendly for changing out, and this knife would be super easy to do a reverse pocket clip mod on. Basically just machine a slot, and you just take the clip and put it to that side and make a little filler plate if you wanted a filler plate for that. Very cool. That's the 316. And let's see, one of my favorite front flippers, which Twosun does great work with titanium and carbon fiber, and their micarta has gotten better. Some of the micarta and some of the variations I haven't liked. I have the 301, and it probably should be here on the table because it's a great knife, but it's not. I just grabbed some random ones as I was going through my box. 301's a great knife. There's many knives, many Twosuns that I have that should probably be out here, but we're just talking about the ones I got. These are some of my favorites, and you know, for one reason or another, they're my favorite. The 301, rightfully so, could be here, as others. This is the TS198. Now this is, I think this is a Wongan Inn design. Yep, it's Wong. Like I said, it's great to be Wong. I love the look of this knife. It's just a nice, long, sort of, not quite a trailing point, but nice, long, slicey edge. It has sort of this upward thumb ramp that you can choke up with your finger on the front. You can roll your thumb to the top and do some nice push cuts with. The action on this is nice and buttery. The blade's sort of light, and if you don't get your finger out of the way, it will come down and get you. I like the way the blade profile is and these few hole patterns they have here. Just a great overall knife. Action is superbly tuned for a front flipper. With a little bit of wiggle, it shuts. Has a lanyard option built in, which I like lanyards. Do I have to have a lanyard on every knife? No, but I do like lanyards, and I like the fact that a lot of Twosuns have a lanyard option. Also, another thing while we're talking about Twosuns is in the current knife community and knife world, I realize this is a China-produced knife, but for form, fit, and function, materials and the designers that go into this, they're unbeatable. I mean, they're some of the best quality knives, best bang for the buck you can get. As with any knife, you're always going to find some kind of an issue, some kind of a nitpick, but I'm not here to pick out nitpicks. You know, if I see something blatantly obvious that needs to be addressed in a knife review, I'll bring it up, but I'm not going to rag out a knife because I don't like the blade shape, or you know, it doesn't look right because the flipper tab looks a little bit too long. You know, that's all in one's personal opinion, and I guess I could give opinions on that, but I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to harp on a knife because it's not fitted to the exact thing that I want. And that's the great thing about knives, is there's so many you can choose from. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And I know you look at YouTube reviewers to give you an idea or a thought process on, you know, finding something that's good or bad or whatever case may be. And a lot of Twosuns, I mod a lot, and I like to take Twosuns and sort of make them my own by doing a little tweak here or there. You know, if I see something that I feel needs to be adjusted, I like adjusting it. That being said, the Twosun, this is the 229. I'm thinking, yeah, 229, right? 229. We got that wrote down over here somewhere. 229, and this is one that I have done a combination frame mod, which it had these ramps in here that sort of your fingers fell into when the blade was open, that I did not like. It did not fit my hand shape. So basically I cut those off and removed it to make one failing sweep down here. This knife can be opened a multitude of ways: a reverse flick or a front flip. compound grind on this blade. This is M390. This is a Jelly Jerry design. It has these titanium frame with titanium pocket clip, backspacer, and carbon fiber inserts. This is one I'm thinking about modifying and putting some carbon fiber in, some micarta or some crazy fiber. This is a pretty cool knife. I like the aesthetics on it since I modified that ramping area in there. You can't really tell where I did it. It's uniform and smooth and nice and transition good. I tweaked this edge here a little bit also. But I'm thinking about modding. I think this knife would look good if I did a hard anode or color anode on the screws and hardware. Maybe, I don't know. This is very drop shutty, very smooth. Front flipping action is great. And if you don't move your hand out of the way, that big old blade, because it's tip heavy, will get you. And that's the 229. We have 262. This is the 262, I think. Yeah, this is also another front flipper. I love front flippers. That's sort of what I'm doing now, front flippers, as far as in this show and tell. Now, don't forget, I'm doing a giveaway. I'm giving away this knife. There are going to be a few requirements. So, yeah. 262. This is a full carbon fiber. I like the very minimalistic flipper tab. Some may be able to top flip or roll. I can't do it. I have to do a front flip. I like the smooth contours on this knife. The pocket clip could be a little bit more forgiving in and out of pocket. It does have a lanyard option. I like the way this feels in hand, and again, I can choke up and hold, and it feels really comfortable in my grip. Not going to slip out. Nice contoured edges, nothing sharp going to get you. I like the jimping on the back spacer. I believe this knife can be reverse flicked if I can get my fingers out of the way. I am not the best reverse flicker by far. It's like I can't get my finger out of the way, and I'll sit here and fail it 20 times trying to get it right for you. I got it there finally. But this is the 262. When I got this, this was my knife in pocket. I couldn't get it out of my pocket for about 2 or 3 weeks. So far, this has been in my pocket for almost a month now. Okay, we have showed almost everyone. No, not yet. Okay, this is the 162, the 129, 129. Yep, tell me, is this the 129? I think it is. I love the contouring of this and this super long belly. This blade is sort of ugly, looks sort of beautiful at the same time. I really love that satin grind, that belt grind on there. This is a Wongan Inn design. My variation is 12C27. I believe this comes in micarta, G10. It comes in M390, I think, or S90V. I can't remember. Maybe S90V, not M390. Looks sort of like a cigarette boat. One of my friends mentioned that, and I think I agree with him. Maybe, sort of. It's got sort of this leaf blade shape. It's a flat grind. I really like this one in hand. Super comfortable in hand. I think this sort of sharpening choil could be made into more of a forward finger choil. Might be more comfortable, but there's plenty of room to grab back here in the back. And this is another Wongan Inn design. And I think, let's see, can we? Yeah, we can reverse flick that, no problem. Nice flipping action. D10 is tuned really well, and it's almost hydraulic in its shutting action. Now, another knife that was hard to get out of pocket when I first got it is the TS190. This one always sort of reminded me of the Swiss Bowie by Spyderco. The blade shape on this is really nice. This is a night morning design. It's a 14C28N. It has the multifaceted, sort of the bolster area is finer milled, and the more coarse milling on the backward side of the handle, along on the pocket clip too. So it almost looks like a bolster lock, but it's all one piece of titanium frame with a minimalistic backspacer and lanyard option. Again, has a lanyard option. Again, this knife would be really easy to mill a pocket for a flipping of the clip. The action on this one is really nice. It's nice and smooth. Centering, I might need to tighten this one up a little bit because the action, the blade looks a little off, and a lot of times when I take a knife apart, I haven't been putting Loctite in them. But here recently I've been, and I got the wrong one here. There we go, T8. I should be Loctiting these because when you flip them and close them, okay, we can see that it's off, and I'm going to see just tightening it up. Oh yeah. It needed to be snugged up a little bit. There we go. Centering is back down the center. That's just because it was a little loose. Action is still good. A little bit of wiggle. No blade play. TS190. I really like this one. This is definitely, but just because these are on the table doesn't mean they're my top 10 or 15 or whatever I got here. But of the ones I have here, the 64, the 54, the 318, and the 190, and the next one are probably my favorites. I think I got a number mixed up, y'all. I think this one was the one. Did I say this one was the 162? I think this is the 162. Yeah, I did. 162. This is definitely in my top 10. I love this knife. This would probably be in my top 5. This is the 129. The action on it, the blade shape, it is just wonderful. The blade steel, you can see it's dirty. It's got tape residue all over it because I use it. It's an M390. Micro milled titanium. Pocket clip works great in and out of pocket. It is a little lean on thicker jeans. It might not work that great. Has a lanyard option. Full carbon scott fiber scale on the front and titanium on the rear. Action on this is just great. It does, because I put pressure here, you know, depending on how you close it, because my hand, when my hand lays in that relief, it's like I'm pushing against it and my hand is trying to overpower it here. So depending on how you close it, getting your finger out of the way may be a hindrance for some, but it doesn't bother me a bit. Blade centering is right down the center. The 129. And I think that about does it for the knives on the table. I think that does it, y'all. And we're at another 17 minutes. Alright, for the giveaway. The Twosun, or the War Spear front flipper, modded, giveaway, US only, must be 18 years old. Here's the requirements. There's a few. Are you ready? Okay, go to Last Ranger and watch his, I'll leave a link, and watch his 1K wall. And I want you to sub to all of them if you can. Not a requirement, but to everyone on the wall, sub to everyone on the wall. It's not a requirement, it's a request. That's the Last Ranger. He's got a thing he started for 1K wall, trying to get YouTubers over the wall. I'm on that wall, so if you're not subbed to me, sub to me, because you have to be subbed to me. And I would be greatly appreciative if you could sub to the other ones on the wall. And there's a multitude of us. There's Grateful Panic, which I think he's getting ready to bust over 1,000 if he hadn't already. Jersey Knife Guy, Knife Detector, Last Ranger. There's a ton of them on there. There's like 12 or 15 of them. And I should have that wrote down here, but I don't. And some of them I watch some of them regularly, and some of them I don't. Oh man. Okay, guys, I'm tired. It's been a long day, and that's all I got for you. Y'all have a blessed day. Thanks for taking the time to watch. And if I didn't say it, Jesus loves you. Moments of silence. Can you hear my brain thinking? Can you hear it? Yeah, tell me what your favorite Twosun is. Doesn't have to be on this table. Or what Twosun you're wanting, or what you don't like about Twosun, or what you like about Twosun, or what you think is the best knife company. Give me a comment of something besides whatever. Okay. Yeah. Basically, comment in this video and sub to the try to sub to the 1K wall people. I'd appreciate it. Alright guys, this is Rodney, Knaftastic. You know me. Talk to y'all later. Bye.